Good morning or good afternoon, depending on if you're in my third or fourth period. We are going to start today with Caged Bird, a poem by Maya Angelou. Okay, so I'm going to go over a couple things with you guys for our first read, and then you guys are going to go back through the second read, and you're going to annotate based on what I ask you to annotate. Okay? All right, so we will read some advice to those who will serve time in prison, but we will probably do that when we return from break. So concept vocabulary. This is not anything new. This is making sure you guys can use context clues like those vocabulary worksheets we did at the beginning of last year, I think. Remember, you're going to try to use words that the sentence is in to help you figure out the meaning. So some of the words you're going to run into that might be different for you are current, trill, and flurry. Different context clues you can use are synonyms, restatement of ideas, or contrast of ideas. Make sure you guys use your knowledge of context clues to help you guys figure out what those words mean. About the poets. Today, we are just going to worry about Maya Angelou and this poem. Again, we will return to this when we return from break. Maya Angelou was born in 1928. She died in 2014. She was born in St. Louis, Missouri, and raised in a rural segregated section of Arkansas. Growing up, she faced racial discrimination, but she also learned strong values. As a single mother, she worked a wide array of jobs to support her family before discovering her talents as a writer. Angelou raised her voice during the civil rights movements, speaking out for racial and gender equality. She received numerous awards for her work, including more than 50 honorary doctorates and the 2011 Presidential Medal of Freedom. Caged Bird. This poem joins a number of others by important African American poets, in which a caged or injured bird is a central image. For example, in Paul Laurence Dunbar's poem, Sympathy, the speaker says, "I know what the caged bird feels, and I know why the caged bird sings." Likewise, in Langston Hughes' poems, Dreams, life becomes a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Caged Bird by Maya Angelou. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade wind soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on a grave of dreams. His shadows shout on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Okay, guys, now that we have gone through the poem one time, your job is to reread this poem on your own and highlight the following items. 1, metaphors, okay, metaphors about freedom. I'll give you an example. Free bird leaps on the back of wind. Highlight or annotate, you can circle or star or underline, phrases that describe oppression. Example, bars of rage. If you don't know what the word oppression means, please Google it. Next, you are going to annotate, circle, underline, or star words that describe emotions. Example, fearful, trill. In the margins, so these parts right here, you are going to write what emotions do the lines create. So if you highlighted, let's say, if you highlighted the free, okay, that was a little crazy, but if you highlighted the free bird leaps on the back of wind, I don't know why I went all wild with that. You don't want to do that. You're going to this is not working for me. Okay, it's not letting me do it. Let me get out of this presentation. Okay, so now we're going to go to my little comment section over here, or my text. Now I'm going to place that there. You will add your actual annotations to this part. So, for example, why, ignore my spelling here, and what, no, let's try this. Why did Maya Angelou use this metaphor? And what does it mean? Remember, this poem, if you go back into the background information, so think about this area and think about her background and try to make connections with the metaphors. Okay? She's not really writing about a bird, right? She's talking about humans, freedom, and lack of freedom, like oppression. Okay? So you can also underline specific things, like phrases that describe oppression, like his bars of rage. Now, you're going to do the same thing. Comment. You are going to add what you think this means and why she used it, as in Maya Angelou. Used this phrase. Okay? And then the last thing that you are going to do, I'm going to add a shape. Let's do a circle and let's make it blue. Okay? You are going to find words that describe emotions. So what kind of emotions? Obviously, rage is an emotion, right? And then also, what about fearful trill? Wait, I'm going to move this guy. Darn it. I'm not good at this whole thing. I'm doing this after work, so you guys all got to forgive me. Okay? Okay. We're going to do fearful trill. We're going to delete this guy. Delete. Okay. Anyways, you guys are going to have better luck than me because you can take this your time. I'm rushing through this. I apologize. But you guys are seeing how it really works and how I do it, right? Okay. So forgive me. Fearful trill. Again, what are you going to do? You're going to say, what kind of emotions does this line bring to the poem? Or how does it make you feel? Why did Maya Angelou use this kind of description? She could have used a million different things to describe oppression and freedom, right? Okay. She chose a caged bird. So again, you are going to do several things. Let's add them up here so that you guys don't forget exactly what I want you to do. Okay? You are going to reread the entire poem. You are going to annotate the following metaphors about freedom. Say what they mean and why she chose that line. You are going to underline, highlight, or circle phrases that describe oppression. Again, if you do not know what oppression means, you need to look it up. You need to look it up. Okay? Same thing, write in the captions or use a text box, just like I showed you. The last but not least, you are going to annotate words that describe emotions. Again, same thing. Annotate, highlight, circle, star, shape. You're going to put your little comments here. Okay? So that's the first portion of today's assignment. The second portion is going to be down here, and you are going to answer these questions. Actually, I'm going to have let's do the AI one. I'm going to create my own questions. There we go. We're going to do question 1. What does the caged bird in the poem symbolize? How do you know? Okay, so there's 1. And we need to make sure it is a short answer. Next. What is the contrast between the free bird, the caged bird? Now, this might be a little hard for some of you guys. So what I would do is I would just read how the caged bird is described and then read about how the free bird is described and find some differences, okay, and similarities if there are any. Last but not least, how does this poem connect to censorship and power? All right, so this is it. You guys are going to finish these up tomorrow, and then if you have time, you can work on your book project, but I need this done because on Friday, we are going to be going over more in depth, and you do not want to get more behind, especially when it comes to poetry. Okay, guys? So I love y'all. Wish me luck, and I will see you guys on Friday. Have a great day. Bye. Oh, happy Friday, Junior.